The Herald of the Kingdom and Age to Come, Dr. John Thomas. So we turn to this article there. It's called Our Terrestrial System Before the Fall. Our friend says that his notion is that all creation became corrupt at the fall, even to the elements. This is the general idea. Moses tells us very plainly that when the terrestrial system was completed on the sixth day, that God reviewed all that he had made and pronounced it very good. But in what sense was it very good? In an animal and physical sense, for it was a natural and animal system, not a spiritual one. Such a system is essentially one of waste and reproduction, and was organized with reference to what God knew would come to pass. This is implied in the placing of the earth in such a position with respect to the sun, moon, and stars, that there should be a diversity of seasons. Thus, the fall and winter, seasons of decay and death, were institutions existing before the fall, and presented to Adam and Eve, phenomenon illustrative of the experience in the physical system of a principle of corruption, the extent of which, however, they might not have been fully apparent of. So Dr. Thomas goes on to say that death and corruption then, with reproduction, the characteristics of spring and summer, is the fundamental law of the physical system of the 6 days. Adam and Eve and all other animals, both of the earth with themselves, would have died and gone to corruption if there had been no transgression, provided that there had been no further interference with the physical system than Moses records in his history of the 6 days. So he's going on to say, death is not the consequence of sin, sin being the original physical cause, but the physical consequence of a moral act. So there was no physical change, it was just a moral act. This is explained further on. Now, all that was necessary for this sentence to take effect was just to allow the laws of the animal economy to take their course, and the result would be death and corruption, or a return to the dust from whence they were taken. There was no miracle brought in executing the sentence under which Adam and Eve placed themselves. That is to say, there was no new physical principle infused into their nature that was not there before they transgressed. And a little bit further, if they had continued obedient, death, though lurking within them, would not have been allowed to enter into the world. It would have had no victims, but they transgressed. Their thinking became perverse or contrary to the letter of the word of God, and their practices like it. They sinned, and the physical tendencies of the animal nature in dissolution became the law of sin and death within them, because its absolution was prevented on account of sin. We believe that the change consequent upon that calamity was moral, not physical. Like I've been trying to point out before, there was no physical change. It was a moral change, not a physical one. The natural system was the same the day before the fall as the day after. A place through destructible by time or any other cause may nevertheless be very good when its building is complete. So also our terrestrial system. So basically this is in harmony with modern science, really. I like that. We believe that the change consequent upon that calamity was moral, not physical. There was no change of nature. And this is in harmony with modern science. We don't die because we break God's law. We die because it's programmed into our nature. It's called cellular aging or cellular decay. And this is in harmony with what Dr. Thomas is saying in chapter 4 of Help His Israel. So just turning now to Help His Israel, chapter 4, page 127, in the edition I've got. The nature of the lower animals is full of this physical evil principle as the nature of man, though it cannot be styled sin with the same expressiveness, because it does not possess them as the result of their own transgression. The name, however, does not alter the nature of the thing.